Oh, I thought I was going to get a countdown, but I didn't. All right. Hi. I'm Joel Crandall. I'm the owner, creator, and developer of the VOILA method. The VOILA method helps make the seemingly complex simple. And I'm here today with Brett Kido, who I met a few years ago, and he lives in Vegas. He's going to be hosting me in Vegas coming up on November 9th and 10th. So please come out and visit us. Welcome, Brett.
Hi, thank you.
How you
Appreciate
doing
it.
today? Can you maybe talk to and how we met?
So I was introduced to Joel by a practitioner of VOILA who I was working with doing stretch therapy. I had gone through quite a bit of medical episodes in the last 5 years, including bilateral hip surgeries, a couple craniotomies, and as well as a stroke and seizures. So I've been through a lot in 5 years. And at the time, I was just, I think, a little after, maybe within the year of after I had brain surgery or my craniotomy. And so I was finding a lot of difficulty getting back to functioning on a normal way on a day-to-day basis, even though I was doing fossil stretch therapy, massage therapy, everything I could, working with PTs to get to a point where I could function, and was getting progress, but very slow, very measured progress, and a lot of times feeling like going 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. So she had suggested meeting with you and seeing what you could do. And I guess the best way for me to have understand it is because I've been a body worker for 17 years, and the understanding of like chronic holding patterns, which what we're taught is the repetitive either motions or lack thereof, continual, and it shows up in the body and stays that way. Work against that. I felt like this is something, after experiencing it, was something that almost addressed the chronic holding patterns of the mind, of your emotions, things that get stuck, and especially going through a lot in a short amount of time. So it was, that's how I was introduced, and how we had our first session.
Yeah, I think you, the practitioner, the VOILA practitioner, actually used you as their demo for their certification for level 1, correct?
Yes. Yep.
That's how we met. And I could see Brett in that session, which was really fun. Obviously, I saw that there was much more going on than what we were covering in the level 1 certification. And can you explain that, Brett, and like how you noticed I noticed that?
I've always been very interested in energy aspects of healing. As far as that goes, it's what got me into massage in the first place years ago, working with a Tai Chi practitioner who showed me what he called energy work, and experiencing that myself, working with people with that as well. So when I first had the experience with you, or when we were doing the testing and first met you, I could tell, having had some of those experiences before, that it had been quite a while, but pretty quickly I could immediately tell you were the real deal, because you were able to spot things immediately. And without me saying anything in particular, you asked me a question that was like related more to what was in here, or in here, rather than what was going on out here. And it was spot on to things that I was dealing with. So that was my first experience of going, okay, this is something for me very much legit, and I can see it helping. And going through that session and then subsequent sessions, actually definitely a difference in my recovery and the speed of it, I think
Can you
more
expand a little bit
over.
more on that, Brett? Because I know we've met a few times and had subsequent I can't say the word subsequent session, and that you have noticed after those sessions.
So after our first one-on-one, after the very first one-on-one session, which was after uh, the the therapist did their certification, 2 weeks or something like that later, immediately after, and this is at a point where I was struggling on a day-to-day basis, just walking, just getting out, doing things, going to work, which I continued to do throughout all of this. Getting upstairs was extreme struggle at that point as well. After the first session, I remember standing up and walking upstairs and getting to the top and thinking, how did I just do that? Because I didn't like have the same struggle that I did every day trying to go up the stairs. It was almost as if I did it normally. So that was a big aha kind of moment. Wow, this is something. And those sessions seemed to last usually for a certain amount of time that would stay. I think that what I realized, and this kind of goes back to that chronic holding pattern thing, is just with body work, to get out of a chronic holding pattern, many times you have to do multiple sessions. And a lot of work has to be done before that's complete. You may walk away from massage feeling great for a while, but it doesn't mean that you have fixed everything, nor has in this the same situation here, the chronic holding patterns in the mind and the heart have to be continually worked on to a point.
Yeah,
But
that's a great point, Brett. In the fact that you have to break the habit that is holding
yes,
you into that chronic holding pattern. So that's
yes,
why I tell my clients is we can find and address the issue, but that's when the real work starts. That's when the real work begins for the
yeah,
person that received the session.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does. And what it did for me, moreover than anything, is it gave me understanding that there is a way, not just through the physical stuff that I'm doing, but other things that I can do this particular that can show me there's a light at the tunnel, that I can achieve what I to where I want to be. And it gave me some hope at a time when it's pretty hopeless.
Yeah. And I don't know how far you want to go into that with that
No, I
first.
probably don't lot.
That was quite intense.
It was sure.
Yeah. I think we're just going to leave it at that, Brett.
Yeah, that's
But yeah,
fine.
we got pretty fast though, didn't we? We got deep
Yes,
pretty
no,
fast.
absolutely. That was the other thing that was very much obvious. That kind of connection was real. Uh, it was like sitting down with someone who I've known probably my whole life or know me their whole life or somehow. So that was very important part of it, aspect of it, I think as well.
Yeah. And just I want to share with your audience too, which would just to back up onto that is we actually have the same name.
Yeah.
He was to go by Brett.
Yes.
So this is Joel as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
first and middle name.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that. And middle
Yeah.
name. Yeah. So it is like we've known each other for a while.
A little
For
bit,
sure.
a little bit. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen you in a few months. I know
Mhm.
because, moving to Tennessee and whatnot, it interrupts us a little bit. But what have you been noticing with the difference in Brett?
Moreover, I think I lost some of the frustration that was probably keeping me from even trying harder in my recovery, like PT, and putting the effort that I really needed to or need to into full recovery or what I want as a full recovery. Like I said, it gave me hope, and then with that, you get more drive. You come out of that place and go, "Oh, there's a future that I can still attain," and so I for me, it gave me a lot of motivation and because I can see the end game. If that makes sense. And then this
Yeah,
is also
real
why I've wanted
important.
to, sorry, this is also
No, go
why
ahead.
I've been wanting to host and get started in training of it as well. One, I know it's real. I know it's effective. I know it helps people. Moreover, I want to be able to work on myself on a daily basis, whatever, how often I need, continue with my own recovery, but I also want to make this to people. So it's important. I think it is valuable to anybody who is seeking an alternative um, to what you name, whatever procedure you go through. But this is a place that I think that people should start if they're dealing with chronic pains, issues, functionality, um, any of those things. Because most of those things also have come along with trauma of some sort, emotional baggage, whatever.
Yeah. And just to be clear with everybody, so what we're going to be hosting on November 9th and 10th is the level one that we call 1.0 because there's 2 points to level one. There's two different classes for that. And we get more in depth on the 1.5 class. But the first class is just going to be the physical aspects of the body. As we get into the higher levels, which Brett has been hinting at and looking into, are the higher levels of VOILA. So our levels 2s or level 5s that I work with that. But we also have done physical corrections as well. So that's what you'll be learning at the level 1 class in Vegas on 9th and 10th.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. And how has your walking been, Brett?
Um, you know, ever since our sessions, I felt there was a turning point. Of course, because of the damage and the amount of stuff I've gone through, there has definitely been times where, yeah, I've had my ups and downs, but moreover, because I've had the experience, I know for a fact that I can function in the way that I need to. So even those setbacks now don't take me to a negative place or put me in such a frustrated area or mind or whatever. And I'm able to continue simply because of the fact that I've had the experience and I know I got there once, I can get there. Things
Yeah,
have improved for sure.
yeah. You're bringing up some really important, and I'm not sure if the audience is picking it up. I'm obviously picking it up, but you're talking about hope. I mean, a lot of times you do lose hope, so you do lose motivation, and you're not seeing that thing. You didn't realize after our first session if anything had really changed until you felt walking upstairs differently. Because you might have left that session, "Oh, I'm not sure what happened," and then something tangible happened, and you're like, "Oh, wait a minute," and you put the pieces together. And that's why I always say I can do so much with my work, but now the hard work begins with the person I just worked with and
Yes.
to work on that. And I've had people like, "Oh, my shoulder still hurts after our session." And so I'll ask them, "Have you worked on the things that we talked about during your session?" "No, I haven't got to it yet." I go, "Then that's why your shoulder still hurts."
Yep.
Your body is not going to lie
Doing the
to you.
same thing, which is someone says my back hurts because are you changing how you're at the computer or are you doing standing up? Are you doing anything? Well, now are you stretching? No, it's the same thing in the sun. But if you're not actively attempting to change those patterns, it's not really going to last for very long. So,
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Have you noticed any change in yourself, Brett, when you're working now with your massage clients, as far as just you and what you're bringing to the session?
I feel like I have. And I would say, and I'm not somebody who is looking for compliments or reassurance from somebody that I'm doing something correct. But I would have to say that since then, I have had a lot very profound reviews and or people just saying this is a difference it's made for them in their experience of massage. And I think more over them too is like whatever I've learned or experienced through that, I've tried to transfer or give people that understanding as well. And use that experience in a way for them as well. But it makes me excited to get to the point where I can actually offer people, hey, let's do some walleye. Because
Yeah. I'm excited for you to do that too. So to
yeah,
be clear, Brett hasn't taken the walleye yet. So he's not doing walleye as a client. So I set him up with that question because I'll explain why I set him up with that question. As you can tell, Brett is not looking for himself, right? So I was trying to get Brett to talk about himself there a little bit. So I was getting a little sneaky there, Brett. But what we do know, and I hope you guys are understanding this, you can already tell that Brett is an amazing massage therapist. All right.
appreciate it. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's hard for me to take compliments, which is one of the things that I need to work on for sure. Talk to guys.
Right. And so that's like maybe an inside joke between Brett and I, because he does have a hard time taking compliments. I used to be really bad at it. And so we talked about it. And so that's why I'm giving Brett these compliments to see how he's responding.
Yeah.
And just as I expected, very humble. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brett has that. And I hope you guys can feel that at home. He's just got this big heart and he wants to get better. And to Brent, and I can't remember if we talked about this and you can remind me or not, but it was almost as if you felt like you were being trapped in your own body.
Yes. Not being yourself and not being able to function, knowing what you can do, it's almost, an imprisonment in your own, because there's a freedom there. You felt it, you experienced it. There's times where you've enacted with it and whatnot, but then you wake up the next day and maybe you're not where you were then. Yeah, there's definitely a feeling that just not being able to fully be yourself. And
Yeah.
that's a problem for anybody who's the healing arts for sure, because if you can't truly be where you're at, it's hard then to where you need to be. It's hard to then give to someone else. And even
Right.
though I've continued to work and everybody efficiently as there were no complaints or anything like that, definitely there was a change of when that happened. And I started regaining my hope and drive and to kind of vision back, not just for myself, but for other people too, that accentuated so much more. So
That's fantastic, Brett. And it just, like I said, I haven't seen you in a few months and just seeing you sitting here today and how young you look, it's amazing. Just great to see as well. Brett, is there anything else?
there was times at that time, probably I was feeling like, honestly, I was in the latter stages of life, like somebody octogenarian, somebody who's gone through everything, looking at the end. That's probably more where I felt, and that's probably more what I also looked like and presented myself. As things have progressed, I'm getting back to that feeling of more research.
Great, great. Brett, I look forward to doing another podcast with you after November 9th and 10th
Yes,
so you can share
definitely.
your experience there as well. So I hope everybody comes out on November 9th and 10th. It is limited space, so just be aware of that. So sign up earlier than later because we may run out of space. Just to throw that out there for everybody. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Brett?
Other than I think that if somebody is a massage therapist, personal trainer, kinesiologist, somebody who's doing PT, anybody who's in the field of helping other people physically and their well-being can benefit from this uh, extremely for themselves, not just for themselves, but for their clients as well. But one of the things that I was taught when I first became a massage therapist, it's maybe corny, but you probably heard it before. Heal thyself, because if you do not take care of yourself, if you are not at your best, you certainly can't give it to somebody else. And I think that this helps people even if there's no issues with them, it gets them to another level of their best. And that allows
Yeah,
them to do better for others. So
absolutely. That's a great point, Brett, because we usually think about that with sports and athletics, increasing the athletics performance. But what you're just talking about is increasing your life and your everyday performance for you.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the big difference. Brett, thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you in person on
Yes.
November 9th.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Me too.
Yes. All right, Brett. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, Joel.